Hey everyone, it's Reality here, and welcome to a game called Barrow Hill, Curse of the Ancient Circle, I think it is. So I wanted to play a horror game. I haven't played one in quite a long time now, and I wanted to play a game, even though this isn't the most amazing game. I bought Slender Man a while back, and I've got a few other games in the pipeline somewhere down the line whenever. But I wanted to try one just because I've been playing so many strategy games recently, and it's felt weird not playing a horror game. I got no idea what this is about. I didn't even read the description, so I'm going to get straight into it. We're going to go new game. Also, I paid £15 for the intro, so I want to milk that and make that worth its money. So let's new game. Don't know what any of this does. Yeah, sorry, I just thought. Okay.
Leo.
Oh.
You're listening to BHR, your local radio station on top of the world. It's exactly 15 minutes to 8 and this is Emma Harry. I'll be with you from now till late past the witching hour, and I'm inviting you to stay right here with me. It's 15 degrees outside tonight up here on Barrow Hill. The weatherman's trying to spoil it for us. He says we may be in for some rain tonight, but from where I'm sitting, it looks like it will pass us by.
Oh, it's creepy. I think the resolution's a bit off. Is it meant to be in black and white as well?
This is Emma Harry on top of the world tonight. Not just any night. For those who don't know, it's the autumn equinox. An important date in the pagan calendar. And you've got 12 hours of darkness ahead. So let's celebrate. Like Alice, we're off down the rabbit hole. I've got 4 in a row for you coming up right here on B.
I hope this isn't as bad as The Huntsman. I really don't. Oh, okay. Is it a point and click game? Okay, that's pretty cool. Can we go back? Okay, it just turned into wavy lines. Okay, this is interesting. I've not played a point and click game forever. Some mushrooms there. Oh, I saw a hand. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I don't mind a game like this. Very, very nice. Let's give this a go then. Ooh. I mean, this is a road. Why did I stop there? Some kind of weird doghouse by the looks of it. Okay, so it looks like these are steps I can go up. At least this is more interesting than a Huntsman. I've not played a point and click horror game in years. What's this meant to be? It's very, well, a little bit atmospheric at the moment. Oh, I've managed to go back to the car. Not quite sure I've managed that. Should we... Okay. Can't quite go up here. I've just come back from Leicester. There's an amazing Halloween Scream Park there. Absolutely incredible. It's a bit of a passion of mine, Scream Parks. I haven't done too many, but just recently I've been getting into it. Oh, okay. Not quite sure if there's a proper storyline or... Excuse me. Were we meant to... Oh, that's right in my ear. Obviously there's no real instructions as well. I wasn't even aware this is a point and click game. The last point and click game I played was probably Goosebumps back in the day, which I did try and play again recently for the channel, but I couldn't get it up and running properly. So what's this? I've got a little key kind of symbol on my on the hand there. No dog walking. I am bloody confused as to what to do. Oh, okay, so most ancient lives. Is that a most haunted reference? There's a face in the top corner. Do you see that? No, there it is. Monthly episodes only on 14 TV. I've got... Okay, doesn't look like there's anything on the car. Okay, there's a pin, looks like we have to put in here. What on earth's that? It's right where my recording logo is. How do you go back? Okay. Okay, looks like they both got pins. Some weird bloody noises, so I know. Oh well. Fortunately, I haven't got any money on me, I don't think. I wonder if that's like a code or something. We'll find that out, I'm sure. Okay, can't actually walk off this way. Okay, there's nothing here as well. Okay, this is running, obviously, but... Oh! Can you turn it around or something? Aqua Sensations, omega-3 regeneration. Natural restoring hair tonic. Marine enhanced. Okay. I don't know what this is meant to be. GBU 101. Okay, nope. Didn't mean to click that there. Nothing more, I don't think, to do here. I'm sure you should be able to get into this. Oh yeah, we can.
It's hounds, hunters. The sentry. The sentry is out there, hunting us. They drove in and started to run. It all happened so fast, so quick.
Oh, it's menu.
He sat there for so long, forgotten.
Oh, I'm stood here so long. How'd you get out of this screen?
It's hounds, hunters.
Oh, there we go.
Sentry. The sentry is out there, hunting us. What was meant to be honoured. What? What? What's that?
Bloody hell.
Who are you? You can't. There was... It wasn't there. But then it came up. I heard it. They were... And it... Oh my God! The power went. Then there was a huge surge and all the lights flared in the forecourt. I went into the kitchen, but it was too dark to see. When I came back out, it was there, standing by the motel in the gloom. I couldn't light that stupid lantern anyway. You might need it if you're out there. With that thing, you'll be able to get about easier. If you can get it working. Can't you hear it? Searching. What was it? They told me, don't work up here. My mum, she said it was a bad place. To stay away. Why didn't I listen? Those stupid old stories and the freaks that tell them. Maybe they were right. Stay away. Stay away from the Barrow.
Oh.
Who's out there? Where did you come from? I can see you out there.
Okay. That is pretty creepy. That
I
is
don't believe it. I can't
pretty
believe
decent.
it. The rocks. The rocks are alive.
Rocks are alive. Okay. Barrow Hill Circle. There are 2 stone circles here at Barrow Hill. A large circle surrounds the base of the hill and a smaller circle crowns the top, where the ancient barrow can be found. Barrows are burial mounds. These mounds have sometimes been added to much earlier existing ritual sites and have become the round barrows of today. Later, cremated burials may have been placed within beakers or pots and added to existing barrows. Burials may have been made at the intervals of several hundred years, spreading from the Bronze Age through the Iron Age and into Roman times. Marked on maps as Tumuli, barrows are often found in association with stone circles and other ritual sites. Purpose of stone circles and rows is unclear, but is generally accepted as ceremonial. Stone rows and alignments may form avenues. Researchers suggest that circles are aligned astronomically or other ancient sites and natural features. The stone circles at Barrow Hill are thought to be existed since 2500 BC. Yeah, there's actually quite a big burial ground near my area. That's about the same time, I think. I think it was 2000 BC or something like that. Ooh. Belingo, Malka, Dolment, Hammerstone, Henrik, Gavrock, Kaoleach by George. Oh, so little George has given them a name. Okay. It's one of them, a little close up of it. I'm just thinking, is there like some kind of hidden code? That looks like a little bit of a cross down there, but probably not. Megalithic Cornish sites are mysterious ancient places. The earliest Neolithic sites are mystifying chambered tombs, which survive from 4500 BC. These tombs originate from a long-forgotten era. Today, there exists doubt about their original use as funeral sites. Such places become reused sacred sites for later settlers in Cornwall. During the later period of the Neolithic 2500 BC, henges were introduced to the landscape, large formed enclosures of earth. Shortly after, these sites were reused and augmented with the mysterious standing stones, or menhirs, and curious hold stones, standing tall over the centuries. They have watched the landscape, people, religions, and way of life change. Their purpose is debated and theorized to the present day. With the development of metalworking, the Neolithic era became the Bronze Age. A people known as the Beaker folk, named because of the beakers they left with burials, began to settle and trade across the already ancient landscape of Cornwall. With them came the first round barrows. The barrows were the burial and ritual sites of the Beaker folk. As the culture of Beaker folk developed over time, so did the round barrows they left behind. By 2200 BC, their funeral barrows have developed different agriculture styles, which we can recognise today. Lovely. Harvest Festival. Oh, there's a note. Do not eat the exhibit. The bread and eggs are at least 2 weeks old. Shall we have a nibble? Okay. Oh, okay. It's a little jigsaw puzzle. Why are we doing this? That is very weird. Why would be doing just a random puzzle? Hope we get some amazing prize after this. Why doesn't it automatically go in? Not that I'm a perfectionist, but I hate to miss out on something. Autumn sale, bog off, buy one get one free, buy one get one free. There's no hints over here, is there?
Maybe I should run. I can watch outside from here. Now I can see you out there. What are you doing?
I'm having a little nosy around, if that's okay. Things don't scare me that easy. I suppose it might do if I see it. It's got a bit of a creepy atmosphere. I don't suppose this is going to be anything interesting. Fish and chips, mushy peas are very cheap prices. What was that? Chicken and Kiev and chips. Love chicken Kievs. There's like this weird constant noise. What is that noise? I like how things are so interactive. I think I got this game for free as well, and this is already much better than the Huntsman. I don't think I got it for free. I can't remember now, to be honest. Wow. Okay, that's random. Can I eat this one as well? No. Only that one I can eat. It magically goes back together. Okay, to all store. Please note that fake £10 notes are circulating in this area. Any notes accepted will be deducted from pay. Wow, that's harsh. Is the note blurred? Does the note feel thin or fat? Is the note blank? Is the note in English? Oh, that'll give it away, wouldn't it? Is the note rectangular? Aren't they all rectangular? Babs Cabs. Okay. Edward, local pasties, sausages, lovely. Ben, Maggie's phoned in sick today and Carol was still on holiday. I shall be here during the day, working in the office whilst it is quiet. While it is quiet. I can cover your role on the pumps if you can work in the kitchen. The washing up can wait till tomorrow if you are too busy. Mr. Morse has already requested that you keep the volume down on that radio. I know the evening shift can be boring, but try and keep the noise down a little as the poor guy is trying to sleep. Please have a tidy up and vacuum this evening. Score disco, hardcore trance, the bunker, DJ's doormat, box ski, Lady Adastra. Sure, this is interesting. Okay, super rotor template for idiot people with no DTP skills. I'm not sure what DTP means. So it looks like they stuck to pretty much their same. Oh, I wonder what happened to Ben. Wonder if he. Wonder what happened to good old Ben. Kitchen and the cafe. Poor Ben. Ben, can you deliver Phil's dinner to motel room number 2 tonight at 6:30? He said he'll be out on his evening rounds of the dig site, so just leave it for him when he gets back in. Don't forget the lock is set to 123. Remember the keys, restart the lock. So we do have a room. Okay. We do have a room to get into, so I might have a little cheeky look at his room, and then that'll be the end of the episode. I don't want to make these too long, because I do get carried away. I'd love that ketchup, though. I love ketchup, me. this looks like a really... Oh, I was going to say, it's quite an interesting... Arthurian, I'm not sure how to say that name. Legends. Mythology gives way to ancient history. King Arthur is a mystery. His story has been told by numerous generations, but it remains just a story. Many of the ancient monuments you can visit across Cornwall now have Arthurian legends attached to them. The story of King Arthur is perhaps the most exported. One version of the legend suggests that Arthur was a Cornishman and that Cornwall was his kingdom. The castle of Tintagel is now associated with Arthur, its true past forgotten. Okay, that's not an apostrophe there. We can say for certain that the term Arthur has become a collective name, absorbing stories of a hero of the ancient people and their rulers, forgotten kings and great warriors. Who were these ancient powers that have been consumed by Arthurian legends we know today? History suggests that there were not many people here in prehistoric Cornwall and the early Stone Age. These forgotten folk grew up over centuries with migration from Europe, Ireland, Wales and the rest of the UK. Cornwall became divided into small kingdoms, each with their own rules, deities, faith and folktales. Invaders came to conquer the UK, driving people from one area to another. The legends of their own heroes moved with them. Even the invasion of Julius Caesar in 55 BC led to further stories of a hero which have been since developed into modern Arthurian fiction. Cornwall have remained an outpost of ancient times, retaining much of its forgotten past. In the ancient sites you can now visit, we can get a glimpse of our forgotten kings and deities by looking at such sites such as Lanyon Quote, found between Penzance and Land's End. Modern myth tells us that King Arthur used the stone top as a dining table before his last battle. The Arthurian legend essentially creates this well-preserved burial chamber of one of our real ancient kings. Obviously, if you don't like me or going through all this, you can obviously skip ahead. But I do like reading this. Do I have to fill this in myself? Plant used in cooking. Opposite of stop. Used by Celtic people as a gauge of wealth. Animal symbolising virility, dignity, speed and aggression. Is that crow? Not sure. Time of year when the day and night are equal length. Mythology, Herne, the old Cornish word for cave. Important metalwork, expertise of the Celts. Anglo-Saxon concept for doom, destiny and fate. Bird associated with darkness in Celtic literature. Celtic word for singular standing stone. Open lands of grass and heather. Negative answer. That's quite easy. I don't think you do have to fill it out, which is nice because I'll be terrible at it. Alternative description for a male. Obviously some of these are easy, but English tree with sacred connections, and is that an oak? Longest or shortest day of the year? Leap year? I'm not sure. But yeah, the ones on the top are a bit more harder. I'm not sure of any or most of that. It's Lambert and Butler, not Merrill's. It's cool you can interact with everything. Can I interact with the sandwich? Not that. Oh, and the ketchup. That's made my day. Ben, thank you for the flowers you left me. They were a lovely surprise. You know how much work I have been putting into my night course. With the exam over, I look forward to finding out how I've scored. Wish me luck. I was wondering if you'd like to go out and celebrate, or not, as the case may be. When I get the results, I'm sure George will let you have a night off. What? Okay, it's very random. Okay, we don't want to click on that again. Might be some secrets on the pictures, but doesn't look like it. Okay, can't look at the menu unfortunately. Or the good old rose. That's been smashed, has it? Okay. Can't quite read that very well. Monolith. Pete Crowhurst. Very appropriate name, probably. Nothing we can look in the bin. Okay. That's pretty nice. Okay, we do have toilets. I might actually have a look in the in their rooms first, or at least that one room I can get into if I can remember how to get there. So it's number 2. So let's have a look in the room. Don't know why I'm being so nosy here. I definitely wouldn't be doing this, but nevertheless, let's have a little nosy. Okay, so this was the guy doing the dig, I think it was. Gavrock, oh, it looks like a monkey kind of thing. Okay, is that one of the sites he's working on? Funky tune.
And this is Emma Harry, back on the air again after that power cut. I'll be your nightlight till around about 1 o'clock, so long as we don't have any more power outs. I've braved outside to fire up the generator and I'm up and running under my own steam. High tonight at the BHR station, alone here on Barrow Hill. Though I could swear I saw someone up here with me a moment ago. With a little bit less daylight this time of year, you can imagine anything in that ever-increasing darkness. Why not give me a call and say hello on 585? And in case you've forgotten, it's 20, the autumn equinox, the beginning of autumn, or for those from across the pond, the beginning of fall. And while the daylight hours are dwindling, there's a harvest festival celebration tomorrow down by the harbour. But if you're so excited you can't sleep, well, stay up with me and I'll figure out some way to keep you occupied.
Lovely.
You're listening to 1224, your astrological guide on the air, every hour, every day. Virgo. A lot of your recent time and energy has been spent chasing a dream that you'll never achieve. If you want to continue this year with any worth, it's time to break free of your foolish venture and refocus on those that love and care about you, even if it becomes embarrassing. Aries. Divided loyalties may well make this a very unsettling week, but a lot of the pressure could be avoided if you keep everyone informed. Fortunately, this phase won't last too long, and you can soon start to plan your long-term future without having to watch for the knives in your bag. Leo. A powerful month for relationships, as Uranus, your love planet, is bringing a glamour and personal vitality. Singles will find this a particularly eventful time when they begin to take a fresh look at relationships or find a hobby. For your latest guide to possible love, romance, wealth and health, you're listening to Astro 12.
Oh, I didn't do my... I was waiting for Taurus.
Scorpio.
Oh, I think it is doing the rest.
Your underlying feeling of superiority
Apologies,
over
this is a bit boring, but...
will become clearer to see in the eyes of the fools that surround you. The ambitious projects you have embarked upon will set you free from those that bleed your energy levels, as they have over the past few weeks. Remember to indulge your dreams and fantasies, but settle back on Earth once in a while. Aquarius. Most of the planets are still in the western and social sector of your chart, and this is a strong area of your horoscope until mid-month.
We should
Money
talk quicker.
matters could be complicated until later in the month, when you'll be in a better position to spot your best way forward. This is 1224.
Hey, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Latest horoscope reveal about your future. Pisces. It's a bumpy road this week, with career planet Pluto at odds with financial planet Mars. So good communication at home and work is essential if you're going to avoid confusion. Relationships, on the other hand, are on the up. Aries.
Have they done Aries?
Divided loyalties may well make this a very unsettling week, but a lot of the pressure could be avoided if you keep everyone informed. Fortunately, this phase won't last too long,
Oh, I
and
think
you
I've listened to
can
this.
soon start to plan your long-term future.
I'm waiting for
without
Taurus.
having to watch for the knives in your bag.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Libra,
Okay.
you've got nothing to lose.
Hey, Bob, you're looking good these days. My hair's starting to thin, whereas time's not caught up with you. Well, Jim, it's all down to my new shampoo. It brings my hair back to life and makes me feel more youthful. Wow, how does it do that? It's marine enriched, reviving my hair's life and vitality with organic fish oil.
We've seen a bottle of
It's a
that.
natural restoring hair tonic from Aqua Sensations. I'll have to get some myself. What's it called again? Omega-3 Regeneration. With Omega-3 Regeneration, you'll soon be looking and feeling 20 years younger. You should see what it's done to my cat.
Your what? Cat?
There's a place for you at Starpipe Bingo. Games start every half hour and fantastic prizes await you. Membership entrance discount. Starpipe Bingo Club. Never leave empty-handed.
A great day out for the entire family.
It's just really weird voices.
Everybody will find an interest at Antiques Adventureland. The tea rooms open every day of the week. Goodbye.
Have you tried the latest in dental care products? Why not pick
Why are
up a
these
tube
so
of
American?
ginger toothpaste? It's guaranteed to freshen your breath, fight plaque and tooth decay like no other leading brand. And whilst doing all that, it whitens your yellowing teeth, unlike other market products available. Try ginger toothpaste, the ultimate dental product. Subject to confirmation, not to be used at high altitudes or a substitute for lubricant. May contain nuts.
What?
For any occasion, any time of the year, there is nothing better than beautiful bouquet arrangements and freshly cut blooms.
I don't know if these are important.
Your local delivery florist.
Come along and join us all at the newly refurbished Celtic Corner, with our extended range of voodoo, necromancer,
Oh.
and mediumship accessories, and of course, the latest in witchcraft fashions. Why not pop along to our stall in St. Awful and pick up a perfect
St.
gift to you
Awful?
or a loved one? And if you're really good, we'll let you have one of our special Gulali, Celtic Corner, catering for all your mystic and spiritual desires.
Join Charlie Cow down at the self-service carrot farm.
Bloody hell.
Favourite fruit vegetables.
I said I'd like to listen to everything, just so I can get a bit of an idea of the backstory and all this. I don't know if this is important,
See you soon.
but I've got to listen to it anyway.
Hey, Bob, you're looking good.
Okay, that's the original one. Okay, never mind. I think that's it. Just a couple of pictures of a seagull. Okay, so I'll pick something up. Can I have that arrow as well? Hi Pete, I saw an article about the dig in the newspaper today. It condemns those working on it and anybody supporting it, so not overly positive. It is a small, cheap article. Even so, you know there are some fanatical people out there. They are opposed to the idea of any archaeological investigations. A small site like Barrow Hill was bound to upset them, especially those based down in Cornwall. They think the country is an island, cut off from the rest of us. The article has the usual big mouth quotes and some ridiculous talk of evil tidings. What are these people like? Be careful, you know how obsessive some people can be. Hopefully the site is secure and Conrad knows his enemies. Okay, guessing that's the only one. Oh, it's a phone. Okay, low batteries. I'm guessing I have to find a battery for it. Oh dear, another one. Dear Pete, I have no idea you were working for Conrad Morse. I was surprised to read your name on the package that arrived. How did he find you? It shouldn't surprise me, really. You are the best in the field, you always were. There are mixed views on Conrad's dig at Barrow Hill. Many think the site should be left undisturbed. Some say that it hasn't been touched in recorded history, and the locals both guard and fear it. It is mentioned in passing in a few documents, as is the survey carried out years ago. I read that the woman conducting the original survey disappeared and was never seen again. Spooky. I hear the location is stunning and the area is beautiful. So, who wouldn't want to become transfixed by it? Perhaps she's still there. Ha ha. I have run a few tests on the materials you sent up from the initial test pit trenches around the circle. I will send details results soon. I may try to take a trip down there. It can't take long on the train. Hopefully my luggage won't go missing like it did last time I came to see you. It's been too long. Should have 2 O's. We'll let Lucy off. Oh. Can I have a look at the second drawer? I can't. Okay, that's just his bedroom. So something must have happened to him. He's got all his stuff still here. Oh wow, this goes on forever. I don't know if I can read all this. So let's have a look at some of the pictures. So that was what we went into. Yeah, as I said, you don't mind me going through all the lore and things like that. It's quite good. I like to look at it all. So apologies, you can skip through if you want to get to the exciting things, whatever's going to happen. So yeah, obviously I've got to read all this, so bear with me. What a day. I have just been given the opportunity to join Conrad Morse's excavation of the scheduled ancient monument known as Barrow Hill. I began this journal to keep track of information regarding the project. Professor Morse has personally funded this dig and is providing a more than generous wage. The funds will allow me to investigate other sites I've been dying to get my trowel into. I was surprised that permission to dig the site has been granted. The initial documents submitted by Conrad suggest that the barrow has been left undisturbed from ancient times. The stones are still standing and are very impressive. From the images I've seen, they are all unique with individual shapes and character. Barrow Hill has, so far, been kept out of the tourist's eye, and even local people avoid the area. I hope this means the dig goes uninterrupted. Conrad's timetable for the dig arrived this morning. His objectives are clearly set out. Our first task will be to establish authentication of the stone circle by digging a test pit trench around each stone. Any finds will be recovered and soil samples collected from each strata. All collections will be initially examined before being shipped off for detailed scientific investigation, photography and conversation, which Mr. Morse tells me is already arranged. The trenches will need to be recovered almost immediately as members of the public could turn up at any moment. Thankfully, storing the soil and turf is not a problem. I had another letter from Professor Morse. He is keen to begin work on the site and has asked me to join him in Cornwall. I shall leave later this week and meet Conrad at a small branch line train station known as Witchwood. I can't wait. The Barrow Hill site is amazing and unspoilt, with exception to the service station that will be home for the coming months. All the equipment is unpacked and ready. There are some friendly staff here at the service station. They seem pleased to have guests staying. I had the feeling this area doesn't get many visitors. Tomorrow we begin the first task to establish the site's authenticity. We will begin with the circle around the apparent Barrow. The Barrow does seem rather small, no doubt more lies beneath. The concentration of ancient monuments here at Barrow Hill is astounding. How they have survived over the centuries is a mystery to me. Conrad has already had the top of the hill surveyed by a geophysics team. They will process the data and send us the results soon. I still find geophysical surveys an amazing asset. To be able to look through the earth and see what is below using radar or magnetic signals. Oh, I thought I was going to go on. The interpretation will be interesting, but nothing is quite like revealing the past, layer by layer. I look forward to putting my trowel to use. We have finally begun digging up on the hill. I began the first test pit around the small stone known as Malka. It stands second to the left as you enter the circle by the information board. The stone is evidently in its original position. I found a small broken pot. After initial study I packed it up with its contents of soil, ready to send off for further study. What could have been contained inside the pot? We have speculated that the pot is a later addition to the site. It looks too small to have been a burial or cremation. Maybe it was an offering. Conrad has been digging test pit 2 on the exact opposite side of the circle, a stone known as Gavrock. It looks a little like a person with their hands on their hips. In fact, most of the stones look like one thing or another. No wonder there are so many stories about the circles in these parts. The soil conditions here are good for persevering finds. I've dug around the Beligo stone, pit 3, today. It is the first stone on the left of the entrance, according to the service station's notice board. It is amazing. A total of 3 pots have been recovered, one in front of each stone excavated. So far, 2 are almost intact. The other is broken into fragments. It looks like the pots may have had some ritual significances, rather than burial. But what that ritual was may be lost to the corridor of time. The weather has been very kind during the day, but the nights have a cold chill about them. When the sun goes down, it plunges this area into total darkness. I've been digging pit 4 around the Dolment stone. Another pot is slowly emerging. I hope to lift it tomorrow to the safety of the finds tray. Conrad has been looking around the outer circle these last few days. He said he is trying to understand the possible purpose of this site. He didn't visit the circle at all today. I saw him sipping away at his hip flask near the altar stone deeper in the woods. Conrad has been helping me excavate around the hammerstone. We dug a lager trench this time, number 5, and took further soil samples for analysis. We uncovered another broken pot in the process. That's 5 pots now. Conrad has become a little less chatty. I guess his mind is busy working on ideas. It feels a little lonely here. The staff at the service station are nice, but simple. One girl, Maggie, is studying in night school and hopes to go to university. At least she has some ambition to do more than serve chips. No matter how deep I dig, there is still no sign of the hammer's stone base. Conrad said to leave the trench for now and move on to the Kalileach stone. Kalileach? I began trench 6 to the right of the entrance and next to the stone known locally as Gavrock. I had backfilled the trench like we did with the others. The site still looks like as it did before. Once the turf is replaced, you wouldn't even know we had been there. Whilst I continue my excavations of the Kalileach stone, Conrad began trench pit number 7 around the tallest stone. It stands towards the rear of the circle as you approach the centre. I wonder about the origin of the stone's names. Conrad's current excavation is around Henrik, which we are told it is known as. How long does this go on for? Oh my goodness. Sorry. This morning I felt a bunch of fern leaves attached to my motel room. No doubt someone thought it was funny. Actually, it looked quite nice. Conrad is working around other areas of the site, leaving me working on the trenches. He asked me additionally to look at the outlying men here, known as the sentry stone. He was quite insistent. I left the other trenches whilst I do that. I have dug deep to what seems to be the base of the sentry stone. There was no dramatic finds, unlike the stones in the circle. I think I saw some small charcoal-like lumps in the soil. I sent the sample to be looked at under the microscope. Conrad has locked himself away in the motel. I assume he has some bad news. He's often writing away in his journal. He is funny. He carries around his PDA and modern gadgets, but scribbles in an old notebook. I guess he can afford to be eccentric. Looks like the human centipede, but with elephants. Don't know what's going on there. This morning we discovered that the trench pits had been refilled. We had lifted the turf as always and stuck it ready to be placed back. However, this morning it was all relaid neatly, almost as if the ground had not been disturbed. Some tools were found broken in the undergrowth. Somebody doesn't want us here and is messing about with the excavation. Conrad has left in his jeep, saying he will return with some remote cameras. They will allow us to watch the site after nightfall. I hope he returns soon. Even in his increasingly reserved state, it is nice to have a company. Conrad and I have been busy surveying the outer area yet again. This time we try to use his GPS system to plot the shape of the land. I fear the machine is broken, as the signal here is erratic. We won't be able to get the digital map Conrad wanted. We'll have to draw up our own plans. We've heard from the lab. The report on our dig finds has arrived. I was surprised to read who was working at the other end. I haven't seen Lucy in a long time. If things had been different back then. Memories. Received another letter from Lucy. She hopes to visit Barrow Hill. That would be nice. She'll also get a chance to see the site for herself. I spent a few hours this afternoon visiting our neighbour. The local radio station, BHR, broadcasts from the other side of Barrow Hill. Despite the area being returned to its marsh-like habitat, Miss Harry seems to be making the best of the situation. I think she has planned to run the place as a wetland centre. Wow, she gives me a bundle of bumper stickers and flyers. I guess I'll have to listen to her show. Finally found my journal. Time for a long overdue update. I have no idea why it vanished. Stolen? During the night, the dig equipment was scattered around the area and the tent was half knocked to the ground. There have been some protests recently, which haven't helped matters. They are doing more damage to the site than our archaeology ever could. George, the manager of the service station, has allowed us to use the empty motel room to store some of our equipment to protect it. The room has only just been decorated, so I promised there will be no muddy spades and boots. He sent Ben over to help us move the equipment. Protesters or vandals. Rain, rain, rain. I think Conrad has been singing in his room. I've heard some strange sounds at night, not helped by the blasted wind chimes nearby. Ha! Perhaps he was singing along to them. The rain has just let up. The nearby well was overflowing today. I shall have to look up more details about the well as the legend of St. Annika. Something is inscribed on a slab which is erected outside of the entrance, but it isn't clear enough to read. Other wells I've visited have usually developed from a pagan myth or legend, later to be associated with a Christian saint. Wells are often reused ancient religious or pagan sites. Tomorrow we will begin phase 2 of the dig. We are going to start at first, light, to give ourselves a longer day. The aim is to authenticate and perhaps date the Barrow itself. Exciting times. This will be the first exploratory trench to open up the mound. Sometimes I wonder if we are doing the right thing, but Conrad's enthusiasm is persuasive. What we find will help us to protect the site in the future, but I still feel a strong sense of unease. I am bound to be busy over the coming weeks. This dig has taken an adventure, and phase 2 will take it a whole new level. In fact, it will be a level below. Okay, that is the end. I don't want to leave the video on a sour note after reading a load of stuff, so I'm probably going to just pause it, and I'll probably pick it up probably in a couple of seconds time for you, but I'm going to pick it up later for me. I just have to do a few things, so I'll be 2 seconds as I said for you, but it will be much later for me, so be right back. Okay guys, I am back. I've already recorded 15 minutes, so I want to hopefully get out of this room as soon as I can. There's something giving me 2 fingers over there, so we'll check that out. Okay, can't quite read what that says at the bottom. Looks like they've got some weird markings on it though. Okay. So do I put the phone? Yep. On charge. What's that noise? Got no idea what that was. We haven't yet read this note. Dear Lucy, thanks for the letters. It's been a long time since we spoke. I know... Why is my... I've got something flickering over here. I know, but there is comfort in knowing you are scrutinising our findings. Your report on the soil samples from our trenches arrived yesterday. Conrad is deep in the details. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Conrad wanted a full survey of the hill, including the outer circle, using GPS, but the machine seems broken. Instead, we have opened up an explorative trench into the mounds of the Barrow. In the centre of this circle, the geophysical survey suggests we might have some interesting finds. I'll keep you posted. Conrad has become more fixated with the site than the protesters, the hippies who have arrived recently. They have been hiding and stealing things in the night. We have resorted to hiding our stuff in an empty motel room. It's a pain but necessary. I've noticed Conrad has been sipping on a little more than usual from his hip flask of whiskey. He's all worked up tonight after losing the damn thing. We were digging a new trench at the time. He's gone out again to look for it. It's a strange devotion. Hang on. Weird. Lucy, listen. Something very strange is going on here. First I thought it was my imagination. I'll tell you more in person. Pete. So are you Lucy? Are we Lucy? Or... I'm not quite sure. Can't quite pick the phone back up yet. I was going to call it there. But I want to... Is this just... this is just a window, isn't it? Oh, that's clever. That's sort of window reflecting out, and obviously the phone's... I can't remember if the phone was already on the charger or what. The picture. Well, let's go out. I gotta call it. I want to know what that noise was. I mean, someone was really beeping their horn. Oh look, someone's made some crayon drawings. I would like to look at these. No. Oh look, a Buzz Lightyear. A fake gun. Okay, I picked up the crayon. Not quite sure how handy that will be. Someone's obviously... Cornish fungal... Oh my... Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. As much dedication as I am to reading all this, I might just read this introduction, but the rest... that's too much to read. Especially after reading what I've all just read. This is a beginner's guide to identifying some of the fascinating specimens of the Cornish fungi kingdom. Mushrooms are found all over the world, growing in diverse locations and found in a plethora of size, shape and colour. Over 4,000 variations can be found in the British Isle. Fungus is not a plant nor an animal. The mushroom you see is the only fruiting body. The fungus itself hides out of view as microscopic strands of fibre, decomposed dead and living material. Although the mushrooms or toadstools we see may only last for a matter of days, the fungi fibres themselves can last for a very long time. Some of these fungi are known to have lived for hundreds of years. Some fungi can only be identified with a microscope. Do not gather mushrooms without an expert who can correctly identify them. Do not attempt to gather mushrooms to eat until you are one of these experts yourself. Many species are thought to be in decline with pesticides and chemicals polluting their native environments. As a beginner, appreciate the mushrooms in their location and allow the fruiting bodies to continue growing and complete its life cycle. Many safe mushrooms are very similar to deadly poisonous varieties. Caution must be taken with all mushrooms. As a beginner, identify and observe with extreme caution. Let's just go through all this. Just quickly, you can pause if you want to read it yourself. Okay, don't eat those. Don't eat those. Oh, so they're like, yeah, shrooms. Bloody hell. Destroying Angel. Death Cap. Wow, there's quite a few of them. So, we do have a trowel. What is... That's just someone's glasses, I guess. But it doesn't look like we can use the trowel. Okay, so I think that might do. I've got no idea what the beeping horn was. Still a weird little face there. So I think the next episode, obviously, we're going to search for the gents and the ladies. So, thank you so much for watching. Take care, take it easy, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.